Hey friend, what's up? This is Jeremy. Today I'm excited to introduce Yieldr, which is a tool that I have been building with my good friend over at Longacre Finance. Now, if you are interested in dividend investing, dividend growth investing, or even on your journey somewhere toward financial freedom, then I think you want to stick around, check out how this app can help you get there and do it in a smart way. Our whole philosophy is to help you turn dividends into financial freedom. Now, one thing I want to point out, I'm going to walk through some highlights here, and then we're actually going to jump inside the app so you can see behind the scenes of how this is coming together. You can look at my portfolio and we can walk through all the features in action. But let me give you some context here. When I first started investing, I was all over the place. I started buying tools to help me try to become a better investor. I ended up spending a lot of money on a lot of different tools and not one tool that kind of focused on my walk to financial freedom and the goals that I had to grow my dividends over time and create this passive income stream through investing. And on top of that, all these applications that I would use would just throw out a bunch of data, and I'd have to click on these navigations on menus, and it was really hard to find what I needed. So we wanted to simplify that. So that's one thing you're going to see here inside of the Yieldr app is that we've given you some familiar tools up front, like ways to track your portfolio growth, but we put it in intentional places and made it easy for you to use and navigate. We've also had this feature where instead of just looking at your total portfolio, you can dive in and see your individual holdings and how they have performed over time to see who your winners are, who your losers are, and help you stay on top of all the holdings. You got to know what you own. Now, the next thing we built in here is actually a way for you to track your path to financial freedom. We call this the income tracker. You can go inside the app, which I'll show you in just a minute. You can set up all of your expenses that you want your income, your dividend income to cover for you over time. And this will not only help you set a foundation, but it's going to help you know what your end goal is. As you set up your expenses that you have every day in your life, like your coffee budget, your streaming, your phone bill, your car payment, your mortgage, as you set these things up, it's going to actually start to build out your financial freedom number. This is a number that you need in dividends to come in per month to cover all your expenses. And we're going to give you some fun ways to track it along the way. Now, this is where the magic really starts to happen here, because if you know Longacre Finance, you know that he has been producing quality content to help you find dividend growth stocks for the last several years. So we've taken a lot of the things that he has specifically for his paid subscribers and we brought them over to the app. So we have quality scores that let you look at the dividends, the growth, and the financial stability of a company, and we wrapped it up into one easy to follow, compare, and track number. Then we have a fair value valuation, and this is the money here, because not only do you want to find high quality stocks, you want to know when is the right time to buy. So we've combined three popular valuation methods into one fair value estimate. So you can quickly look at any stock and see if it's potentially undervalued or overvalued. Now, we took our stock analyzer a step forward to make it work with ETFs. And we've done something cool here where not only do you see the underlying holdings of the ETF and you can look at the dividend growth over time, you also see a quality score. And this isn't some arbitrary number that we came up with. The score is based on the percentage of holdings. So we weight all the holdings in the top 15 and we take that score and we give you a weighted score based on those top 15 holdings. So you're not just getting some random number, you're getting actual score based off of the underlying holdings. And the last thing I want to point out before I jump in is right now you can lock in. We're in the waitlist mode. So we're in beta. We're trying to work on finalizing the last details for you, but you can sign up, join the waitlist today, and that'll help you get on the list to make sure you get that founding member price when we're ready to go live. All right. So with that said, let's jump in and actually show you what this looks like behind the scenes. So I'm giving you a sneak peek. So here you can see my portfolio. It's currently sitting at 117 It was over 118. I thought we almost hit 119, and then stocks kind of fell off a little bit yesterday, but that's okay because we are focused on these number here, our annual income and our dividend yield. Those are things that are very important because that's what's going to get us to financial freedom. We're going to turn that to pay off our expenses and hit our financial freedom number. Now, one thing we wanted to do is make it super easy for you to track multiple portfolios. So you can jump in here and you can quickly look at specific portfolios, or you can go back to where I started and look at all your combined portfolios together. So this is where we give you that breakdown. Since you've joined Yieldr, you can track your progress. So this is going to grow with you over time. You can look at the individual breakdown. So I can see that Constellation Software for me had a great day yesterday, despite all these other companies that were in the red. But I can look at the week view, see that Google, ASML, so these tech stocks were still holding strong for the week. Next, we're going to give you an ability just to have a little context behind those numbers so you can see the news from your holdings and kind of see what's going on with all your companies. And then we bring you to the portfolio table. So this is everything you need to know in real time about how well your portfolio is performing overall. And you can see the individual holdings. Now, I only have 12 stocks and ETFs, so I know my stocks pretty well. So I like to look at this and see which stocks have pulled back, because maybe that'll give me that idea to go and make a purchase. So I like to filter this by the day change, the company that has lost the most today, to see if it's a good opportunity for me. But you have all the things you can expect, your average cost, your shares. You're going to see the total value that you have of each holding and your total profit loss. Now, if you hold a company in multiple portfolios, you can see the individual portfolios at a glance and learn all about that. Now, the next thing is, like I told you, we have these quality scores built in for each stock. And we take all of those and we give you a weighted average for your portfolio so you can monitor the health and the fundamentals behind all your holdings and see a quick snapshot of how well you're doing. And of course, we have some charts here to help you know your diversification and your individual holdings and how they stack up compared to each other. Now, I want to show you the cool part, which this is the Stock Analyzer. Now, this is the tool that you're going to use to dive in deep to any stock that you hold or a stock that you're researching and learn the fundamentals. Here you can see how it's performed in the last 52 weeks and where it kind of sits. You can check out its performance over time. These are probably things that you would expect to see and have. So we just brought that in, made it super simple to use. And then we show this quality score. Now, again, you can look at Visas here and see that it has a 95 because it is going on all cylinders. You can open up a lot of these metrics and get more info if you need to learn more about it. So you can see the dividend quality score. It's going to pull in your dividend yield, your dividend growth, your payout ratio. Then it's going to look at the fundamentals behind it. So the business growth, how is the business doing with revenue? We're going to focus a lot on free cash flow because we need that free cash flow to cover our dividends. And then we're going to look at stability. So how well does this company manage its debt? And that's important for future growth and looking down the road. All right. So if you have some positions like I do here, it's going to show you that so you can see where you're at. It's going to give you a quick snapshot of all the dividend info that you need to see. We've highlighted the last 10 years of data and important metrics from each of those three pieces of the quality score. So with our dividends, we're going to show you the dividend growth. So you can look at that over time. You can click in and get more details. And then we're going to show you the payout ratio. And this is beautiful. Visa is like such a great stock to look at because the dividend growth is going up and the payout ratio is staying nice and consistent. And you can see the 10-year average is around 21.8. If I click, I can see we're at 21.9%. So this is awesome. This is showing me that Visa is managing their payouts. They're managing their ratios. And again, you can click in and learn more about any of these metrics. Then we're going to show you growth. We're going to show you free cash flow. Because if the dividend growth is growing like this, we want our free cash flow to also be growing. So we know the fundamentals are covering that dividend. And then you're going to get into return on invested capital. You can look return on invested capital. It measures how efficiently a company generates returns from its money that it has invested. All right. And then we're going to give you a little bit more information so you can see how this company compares to the standards. So an ROIC above 20 is considered excellent and could represent a high quality business. So when I look at Visa, I can see they've had a 20% 10-year average. So they're right on the mark. But recently they've actually done better than that at a 32%. Then financial stability, free cash flow to debt. This is going to show us how well does the company cover its debt with its free cash flow. And you're also going to see interest coverage. So these are all things that you can quickly use to gauge a company's fundamentals. And this is important because there's a lot of noise that comes at you with investing, and this helps you focus on what really matters. Now, when you see a company, maybe you have in your portfolio or maybe you're researching it, and you're ready to take the next step, the fundamentals are great, you want to go over here to our fair value estimate. And this is going to take 3 different valuation methods: the price to earnings, the free cash flow, and the dividend yield theory. These are all methods that Longacre Finance has been using and showing his audience for years to help you understand the fair value of a company. So we brought that content in, and you can quickly look and see how this company has done in the last 5 years compared to where it is now on each of those metrics. And then we pull all of them together to give you one average fair value. You can compare this to the current price, and then we're going to give you an estimated discount or premium based on that. So based on our calculation here, our fair value estimate for Visa is 351. So it is currently potentially at an 8% discount. Now, what is awesome, if I flip over here and go back to the analyzer, I want to just give you a sneak peek at the ETF Analyzer. Because again, this is pulling an average score here from the top 15 holdings. And we don't just want to give you those holdings. We want to actually give you more information for each holding so you can dive in deeper to the underlying companies within the ETF. So you can see here that we have Texas Instrument, which is the top holding here by weight, but you can look at the price to earnings, you can look at the dividend yield, the 5-year dividend growth, and then get that score. And obviously you can jump in and dive deeper into that specific company if you'd like. And then finally, at the end of this, you're going to get to see the dividend history over time. So at any point, you can look at the yield and you can look at how the dividend has grown per share. And this is what you want to see in a great dividend growth ETF. All right, let me show you now one of my favorite parts, which is all about helping you reach financial freedom. And this is the income tracker that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And here you can see it in real time. And you can go in and set these up. You can see that I am at $200 into my 4,900 financial freedom number. So I am just getting going here, but we are on a good pace. And I want to show you how easy you can customize this to your specific needs. So I can jump in here. My wife and I just joined the gym. So I can go in here and click the gym. It's actually a Fit Body Boot Camp. I don't know if you've ever done that, but it is kicking my tail, but we love it. And you can come in here and make it as unique to you as you want. So we're paying about $150 a month. And as you see, as I do that, it automatically boosted up my financial freedom number. So now, since I added this expense to my life, I need a little bit more income to help me be financially free. So I can go in here and I can hit view progress, and you can see it's been added here. But you can also reorder these. So maybe you want to put some, quick wins up front to help keep you encouraged. So check this out. I can move this to the front. I can view my progress, and boom, I've hit my milestone. It gives me a little celebration. I see that I hit it. I'm over 150, and my next goal is to get $200 more so I can pay for all my family's streaming habits, which is a little bit more expensive than I hoped it would be. Something we can work on. Okay, but then we're going to give you those paydays so you can see the exact month breakdown of when you're going to get paid. So here in September, I'm going to make $200 from SCHD on September 28th. And we can go a little deeper and we can see all the underlying dividend metrics for each of your holdings. So I can see the dividend yield, the yield on cost. This is important because if I were to get ASML right now, I would buy the stock. The yield is only 0.73%. But because I've held this and the dividend has grown over time, I'm getting 1.68% on ASML. And that is the magic of dividend growth. And over time, that number is going to keep going up for you if you buy high quality dividend growth stocks. Now you can see the 1-year growth, you can see the 5-year, the payout ratio, and the annual income. So the amount of income this specific company is making for you each year. So it gives you all the details. Now, one thing that I wanted to show here is the weighted average, which a lot of apps I've used just show you individual levels. And I'm always like, man, just show me one more. Show me the average so I can see where I'm at as a portfolio as a whole. So here you can see my portfolio has a 5-year growth of almost 10%, which is my target where I'd like it to be. Finally, just a couple more things I want to show you is we have Watchlists. So this is your traditional watch list where you can create as many as you want. There's no limit. Stocks that you are interested in keeping an eye on. But we've done it a step further and we created a Yieldr playlist. And these are a bunch of different ideas that you can use to help you find great companies. So we got your dividend kings. We have your dividend aristocrats. We have dividend growers. We have high growth. But one important one that I want to point out is the Yieldr top score. So we take all the stocks in our investable universe and we take those. These are stocks that we monitor with a close eye so we can bring this list. And in real time, we update this list for you so you know at any given moment what are the highest scoring stocks in our universe. And this is going to show you any stock that is an 85 score or above. So this is an excellent score rating in our system. You can go and you can then filter that if you're looking for high quality, high yield stocks. You can come and filter that and you can get some ideas right off the top here of companies that you may be interested in. So I can look at Main Street Capital, which is the BDC. I can see the dividend quality score. I can see the average fair price. I can jump in here and try to make a determination on if this is a stock that I want to purchase. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. It went a little longer than I thought it would, but I want to show you behind the scenes, the ins and outs, so you can see everything that you're going to get inside of Yieldr and know if it's right for you. Because that's the goal. If it's not the right tool, it's not going to help you. And we want to help you reach financial freedom. Turn those dividends into financial freedom. So until next video, keep investing, keep watching that dividend income come in, earning that passive income, and I'll see you on the next one.